Good evening. Welcome to the 2022 League of Women Voters Candidates Forum for the Office of District 9, County Council of Prince George's County. I am Gloria Johnson, and I was elected last year as co-president of the League of Women Voters of Prince George's County. Your moderator this evening will be Dr. Gail Clark-Dixon, who was recently elected as vice president of the League of Women Voters of Prince George's County. As a trained neutral member of the League of Women Voters, she will ask candidates questions that have been provided by members of the community as well as LWVPGC members. The League of Women Voters of Prince George's County, Maryland, was actually founded in 1921, and it is one of the first local leagues established in the United States. The league consists of both men and women members, and you too can be a member of the League of Women Voters. We have membership information on our website, and anyone who might like to can become a member. As a matter of fact, I got an email today early saying, "Are you currently taking members?" Yes, we are. The League of Women Voters is a nonprofit political organization of men and women that encourages informed and active participation in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. I will introduce to you tonight the candidates for District 9 County Council of Prince George's County in alphabetical order. But first, I would like to say there were 4 eligible candidates. All 4 were given invitations to appear. 2 of them responded that they had a schedule conflict. I will, however, announce everyone. The first person in alphabetical order is Miss Burnham, Lisa Burnham. The second person, Ernest Canlis, responded that he could not attend. So did Mr. Harrison. Sidney Harrison responded that he had a schedule conflict. So tonight we have with us Mr. Seabedwoe, Dorian Seabedwoe. Each candidate received an emailed message which they were asked to acknowledge, stating that they would be willing to abide by the rules of this forum. Each candidate on the platform this evening has agreed to be bound by the rules that the League of Women Voters requires. First of all, each candidate will be given a 2-minute uninterrupted opportunity to give an opening statement. Also, each candidate will be allowed 60 seconds to respond to those questions. The timekeeper this evening will present notification on the screen that each candidate, when they have 15 seconds left, and then there will be a time sign that says time. It really functions as a stop sign, and we ask everyone to stop speaking when you see the sign that says TIME. If a candidate is absent and decides to come in later, that is okay, but their chair remains empty during the forum and they cannot send a substitute. However, a late arrival will be permitted to join the forum. There will be no verbal interchange because this is not a debate. At the end of the forum, both candidates will be given an opportunity to give a closing statement not to exceed 1 minute. Tonight we have Mimi Machaco Luches as our timekeeper. And as I stated, she will post 15 seconds as well as the stop sign. At this juncture, I would like to introduce to you your moderator for the evening, Dr. Gail. I call her Dr. Gail. Dr. Gail Clark Dixon. Let's applaud everybody in the audience. Over to you, Dr. Gail.
Thank you, Attorney Gloria Johnson. It's a pleasure to be with you, and also it's a pleasure to be with our candidates this evening. I do have some questions to present to you, but we will start with the opening statement, and we will start with Ms. Lisa Burnham.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Just a little bit about me. I've had a working class background and labor upbringing that's helped me lead a life of service. When I was 9 years old, I started a program to feed homeless families in my community. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, and I later came to Prince George's County almost half a decade ago with my husband, and we bought a house in Accokeek, and we're raising 2 children here. But I've lived in the DMV for a very long time. I'm running to represent District 9 on the Prince George's County Council because I do believe that urgent action is needed to solve the county's long-standing environmental and structural problems. I am committed to making our communities more resilient and I want us to achieve housing justice, especially for seniors and people with disabilities. I want our schools to be fully funded. I would love for us to create policy that lowers childcare costs for all families. There are many options for low-income families, but that leaves a lot of people out. And we should have policies that help everyone despite their income level. I do believe that we need to overhaul our transportation infrastructure. Right now, 210 is extremely difficult to commute on. A lot of people have to commute to work still, despite COVID. And it's only getting worse because we don't have really good oversight with the way that we're developing. We're overdeveloping land. We're gobbling up a lot of green spaces, and we're building communities without concern for the burden that we're putting on our transportation infrastructure. So I want to be more conscious of how we're developing our transportation, but also the impact that we're having on our climate. I'm a big proponent of the Climate Action Plan. I was a part of the residential advisory.
Thank you, Ms. Burnham. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and we'll talk more.
Yes. Next, we will have Mr. Durian C. Bedwell. It's all yours. Opening statement.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me here. And thank you, Ms. Burnham, for joining me on this platform. As you know, my name is Dorian Sabedwell. I am running for a council member for District 9. I am a lifelong Prince George's County. I was born in Washington, D.C., and I've been living in Prince George's County since 1997. I went to school here. I attended Woodmore Elementary School, Cheverly. I went to school in Cheverly, St. Ambrose, and then DeMatha High School. And most recently, achieved my master's degree at the University of Maryland Global Campus. So just a little. I'm a father. I'm a father for beautiful little kids that I currently live in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, right off Clinton, right by Clinton, off Woodyard Road, by Clinton. Why am I here? I'm here because I would like to make a change in my community, not just in Upper Marlboro, but what I believe to achieve. And my goal is to make a difference in Prince George's County. As I stated, I was raised here in Prince George's County for all my life, for most of my life. And I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and I've most definitely seen the ugly. Most notably, I believe that our youth, the youth in our community is getting the short end of the stick every single day. The saying, the youth is the future, I believe is something that we have bypassed for a very long time here in Prince George's County, and it starts with education. I think that especially in Prince George's County, our education system is lacking. It's something that I hope to change in District 9, but hopefully the changes that I'm able to put forth in District 9 is able to then trickle over to the other districts. As far as community, as stated, I'm a father. I'm also a husband, and I do believe that that's the biggest thing right now that we are missing is the community factor in Prince George's County as well.
Thank you so much. So now we will start with the first question, and the first question will go to Mr. Dorian. How does your experience prepare you for the duties of this office?
So recently, my experience, I've been in the government. Most recently, I worked as a developer for the White House. So I've been around politics quite a while. I worked within the government system for a very long time, but I think that my experience prepares me because I don't see this position as a political position. I see this position as someone as stepping in in a human role. For me, I'm just like everyone that I represent within Prince George's County. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, and my kids go to school in this system. I was raised in Prince George's County, so just my life experience within this community, and it just is what bolsters me to be able to give back.
Thank you, Mr. Sabebo.
No problem.
Ms. Byrne, would you like for me to read the question? You are muted.
I thought I unmuted. I apologize. No, you don't need to read the question, but thank you. I have worked in public policy for nearly 20 years. I would say about 16 years or so. I'm so sorry. For about 16 years or so, I have worked on issues ranging from criminal justice reform to reducing poverty, reforming the public education system, particularly in DC. I have been a part of grassroots initiatives to help develop worker cooperatives. I have studied, economic policy. Again, I've worked in communications and public policy, and I am deeply familiar with the type of policies that can strengthen a community. And through my activism and organizing and public policy background, I believe I can bring a lot of change to Prince George's County.
Thank you, Ms. Burnham. The next question, number 2, will go to Ms. Burnham. What is your plan for long-term economic growth? And especially, what are your ideas for convincing businesses to come to Prince George's County? And the second part of this question is, what steps should the county government take to encourage economic development and job growth?
Great question. This is something that I often hear when I'm speaking with voters. So there are a number of things that I want to do. One, I do think that we need to encourage more small business development. There are a lot of big corporations that come, but they don't offer quality jobs, nor do they offer the benefits that we need. And I do believe that we need to build a ecosystem that can allow people to develop worker cooperatives. That way that people are more in control of the types of businesses that they develop. Worker cooperatives are businesses that are owned and worked by people. So there are worker owners there, and they have a much higher success rate than individual businesses. I also think that we need to put a limit on fast food restaurants in our area, and we need to offer incentives for businesses like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods to come here, because there is a huge appetite for those types of holistic businesses. And we need to strengthen local farms as well that offer healthy foods to our residents.
Thank you, Ms. Burnham. Mr. Simbimwo. Same question. I will repeat it if it's 2-part, if you like.
Thank you.
What is your plan for long-term economic growth? And especially, what are your ideas for convincing businesses to come to Prince George's County? What steps should the county government take to encourage economic development and job growth?
Well, thank you. To answer your question, I believe that we need to take care of the businesses that are already here. We can't forget about the small businesses that we have in Prince George's County. I think that oftentimes we forget about the businesses that are already here. I think that we need to take care of those businesses by providing them the proper resources to continue to stay in business and as well as to grow. I think one of the ways that we can encourage business to come to Prince George's County, which is to showcase what Prince George's County is all about. I think that by providing certain incentives, like Ms. Burnham said, I think by providing certain incentives that gives people that give young entrepreneurs or those who just want to start a business to be able to start a business here in Prince George's County. I think that the benefits is definitely huge. I'm all for small businesses and I'm also for major corporations, but my aim and my goal is a small business here and keeping those small businesses alive.
Thank you so much. You also have the third question, and this question, Mr. Sibedwo, is what are your ideas for addressing crime in the county while also making sure that the county is engaged in meaningful criminal justice reform? Absolutely.
Well, the first thing we have to do is get out there and vote, right? Because it's very important that we vote. Secondly, I think, as I stated before in my opening statement, I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. One of the things is we've removed a lot of extracurricular activities for our youth in Prince George's County. Idle time is a devil's workshop, and I think that a lot of the youth have too much idle time on their hands. I think if we encourage things such as after-school activities, weekend activities, and more neighborhood activities, I think that'll help to keep the plate full with what our youth do. Just encouraging reform. I believe that's definitely important. I think that we need to take a look at the laws, the outdated laws that are here in Prince George's County to encourage movement in that and making sure that they're up to date. And I think that our community needs more insights, is more community time with those who are sworn in to protect us.
Thank you, Mr. Sibedwo. Same question, Ms. Burnham.
So, like Mr. Sibedwo, I agree that we need to have way more activities available for young people as a preventative measure, in addition to an enriching measure in general, but as a preventative measure to getting into mischief that may lead down the road to a life of crime or criminal involvement. But for those who have deeper seated issues that arise in the home, I do think that we need to offer more resources to families writ large, ideally through the schools, because that's typically one of the first places that you see issues manifest in young people is in the schools. And so we need to really make sure that we provide a lot more resources to our schools so that there are those extracurricular activities in the schools, that we are better communicating about what resources are available here, and that we also, for our young people who are involved in the juvenile justice system, that we have alternatives to incarceration for young people. We need to also engage with, expose them to farming, expose them to all the beautiful outdoor activities that we have in District 9, as opposed to what they're used to. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 4 question is for Ms. Burnham. How would you demonstrate your commitment to serve the community in the best interests of its citizens?
So thank you for that question. So one of the things that I think is sorely missing from the community is opportunity to to fulsomely engage with our elected representatives. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to allow for a participatory budgeting and participatory democracy. So right now, people really don't have a say in how resources are allocated in the budget. And I think that we need to begin allowing people to directly have a say in where we allocate resources. So one of the key reforms to our budgeting process that I would like to implement is having people vote on how they would like certain portions of the budget to be allocated in their communities. When people know that they are more than just dollar signs to the county council and that they actually have a say in where money goes, you'll probably see, and I trust that we'll see, a greater participation from the community and thus more responsiveness to what is happening in the county council.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Sabedwo.
Absolutely. My commitment to serve the community is being accessible. I also believe that honesty is the best policy, which is why I'm running here. I think that, again, I think I'm not running as I'm not running this to be a political platform here. I'm running to be a person in the community. I want to serve my community in the best way that I possibly can. So being accessible, I think that allowing the community to be able to come and say, hey, this is what we need, or this is what is going on. Oftentimes, from experience, we don't know how to get in touch with our community leaders. And that makes it very hard. So in order to serve, you have to be present. And I feel as though I will be present in every aspect of this journey, if possible. And just being honest, honest with the budget, honest with everything as a whole. I think that we as we in the community, we don't get that from our leaders. We don't get the honesty that we deserve, and I think that's something that I'm 100% going to do.
Thank you so much. Question number 5, Mr. Sabedwo. The COVID-19 pandemic has elevated health disparities in our community. How do you plan to address these disparities, especially the health needs of our senior citizens and our young people?
I feel as though we need to be organized. Given, to be fair, I think that COVID kind of came out of left field, and no, we weren't really well too prepared. But I think that the best way to go about it is to run an organized health system here in Prince George's County. I think oftentimes, things aren't too organized. With COVID, affected the elders. I think that as myself, I worked at a retirement home, so I've dealt with I've dealt with the elders a lot, and it's just proper care. I think that they oftentimes get lost in translation with everything that's going on because for whatever reason. But I think that ensuring that we have proper care and organized care, timely care for everybody. That goes for elders, that goes for young adults, and that goes for the youth as well. My plan is to ensure that there are clinics that are stationed within the district that can provide these particular cares in a timely manner and facilitates these things for everybody.
Thank you. Same question, Ms. Burnham.
Thank you. For me, I think that there are a few fronts that we need to tackle. I'll also start with seniors. I think that the county has definitely stepped up and done a great job at the tail end of this to make sure that our seniors and just our community writ large. I'm so sorry, that's my children in the background. One of the things that I think that we need to do is make sure that there are resources available to seniors in particular, so that those who have physical disabilities and those who just have a difficult time traveling independently can get their booster shots. COVID is here to stay, and so we're going to continue needing to get intermittent booster shots. So what we're going to need is to have maybe more mobile clinics, mobile doctors who can go and visit the houses of seniors who need their booster shots and subsequent vaccinations. And I am so sorry, I have to mute for just a second.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Burnham. The next question will go to Ms. Burnham, if you're ready. And we will ask question number 6. How will you support tax breaks for senior citizens in Prince George's County?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
Sure. How will you support tax breaks for senior citizens in Prince George's County?
That's a great question. So I think that we'll have to review what tax codes presently exist, and I think that we need to look at where some of the costs are hitting our seniors. I think that especially in light of COVID, we're going to need to control some of the maybe make it easier to write off some of the groceries that seniors order. A lot of seniors right now are doing a lot of online delivery, and the cost of delivery is very high, like whether they're ordering from Giant or Food Line or Safeway. And so there needs to be a way that those monthly grocery costs can be written off on their tax bill. So that's one way I think that we can bring costs down for our seniors.
Thank you, Ms. Burnham. Same question, Mr. Sabedwo.
I'm sorry, I just saw my mic. I totally agree with Ms. Burnham. This going back to my honesty is the best policy. I think that we really need to just go in and take a look at some of the things that may be allocated for our senior citizens, and is it really something that needs to be in place as far as taxes go, and see where we can really break some of that. I mean, are we being fairly taxed, or are we being unfairly taxed? I think that's the biggest question. So I'm really coming in and just going in and saying, what is fair and what is not fair, and how can we better serve the senior citizens in our community. I think that's just the best gateway right now, is to really look at everything from the ground up and find out where we can make these changes, and we will make these changes.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question, number 7, Mr. Sabedwo. What are your plans to effectively impact the school system's performance, its governance, as well as safety issues?
Absolutely. This question resonates deeply with me. My first plan is to create a system my first plan is to look into the budget for our school teachers. I do believe that our teachers work too hard for the little pay that they get. So any way that we can create a fund within the budget for not just the teachers, but everyone in the education system to be able to get a raise in the funds. I'm here for that. Creating a safe environment. I think it starts from home. Encouraging our parents, communicating with our parents, being open with our parents at home, and just looking for those resources to better help at home, so that kids, after school activities, so that kids don't have the idle time to run around and do things that they otherwise should not be doing, and just creating a safe haven within our schools and our school system for our kids, for our children.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Burnham, same question.
Could you repeat the question one more time?
Most certainly. What are your plans to effectively impact the school system's performance, its governance, and safety issues?
Great question. So there are a number of things that I would like to do. One, I would like to see that these teachers have significant raises to their salary. Um, Teachers in particular, I'm not speaking of the top paid administrators, but the teachers. We need to also include Prince George's County teachers need to have aides in their classroom. It's very important that teachers have adequate planning time and they need time to just go use the bathroom. Right now, that's a big issue that's often overlooked, but it is critical. Teachers can't even leave to relieve themselves just for a moment. So we need to have aides in the classroom. We need to have better paid teachers. We also need to make sure that teachers have all the resources that they need to teach a classroom. They shouldn't have to crowd fund with parents just to get materials for their schools. We also need to make sure that there are nutritious foods in the school so that no child is hungry and has adequate nutrition. So we need to partner with local farms and CSAs so that children can get wholesome, nutritious foods in the schools. And we need more investment and wraparound services to help mitigate, to help increase the safety that we all would like to see in all Prince George's County schools.
Thank you, Ms. Burnham. The next question goes to Ms. Burnham. Please share your concept of how to balance the needs of the community against those external forces such as developers and persons who seek to make profits at homeowners and citizens' expense.
Well, I think that question is an interesting one because it presumes that you need to do balancing. I think we shouldn't balance just the profit needs of developers. The county is not a business, and it often is treated as such. But it's not a business. It's a place where people live, and we need to develop policies that are centered around people and the flourishment of communities. And so what that looks like is not prioritizing the needs of developers and being resolute in that and having a really strong political will, but we will need developers to develop infrastructure within our communities that benefit the community. So I think that the policies that we want to put in place need to be driven by the interests of our communities. So for me, my constituents in District 9 need to be at the table when we are talking about zoning and development. And that means not relying on text amendment zoning processes that often reward developers and shut out community members in the process.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Sabawu.
Would you please repeat the question one more time?
Most certainly. Please share your concept of how to balance the needs of the community against those external forces such as developers and persons who seek to make a profit at the homeowners and citizens' expense.
Absolutely. It's a great question. I think that when we say need, it's a matter of who needs who the most. I think these developers need us, the community. We have something that they want, which is the land. I don't think it's a balance in that. I think it's what's at stake with the community, what the people want, and what makes sense ultimately. I'm not for any undertaking or any sort of profit for these big developers. If you're here to build to help us, not to build, but to help the community grow, then you're here just for that. You're not here to profit. Also, I think Ms. Burnham made a good point. We're not for sale, right? We are here to grow. So unless you're here to help us grow, then we're all for helping you. I mean, granted, it's a business, and that's what it is. But the grand scheme of thing is that these developers need us more than we need them, and we are a community. So it's what's in the best interest for the community.
Thank you so much. Our last question before the closing is And we'll go to Mr. Sabedwu. Mr. Sabedwu,
Yes.
what is your vision to enhance the future of Prince George's County? And what is your priority?
My priority is the community. My future is to start with Upper Marlboro, but my hopes is that the changes that are made in Upper Marlboro will hit all the other districts within Prince George's County. I'd like to see Prince George's County restored to its glory days. I would like to see the crime go down in Prince George's County. I would like to see Prince George's County flourish. My plan is to come in and to be honest with the people in the community again, because honesty is the best policy. Is to be open, to be present. My position is to lead the community, and I plan on doing that with everything that I have within the community. I plan to listen to, my plan is to listen to what the people have to say, because ultimately, without the people, you have no community. I'm not here to dictate. I am not here to make rules. I am here to oversee the development and to see the small businesses rise. I'm here to see our youth flourish. I'm here to see our people just be outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And Ms. Burnham, same question, I will repeat it. What is your vision to enhance the future of Prince George's County? And what is your priority?
Thank you for that. So my vision is bold. It's intense. I want to do a lot. And excuse me if you hear a child in the background, that is mine.
No problem.
Yes. So my vision for Prince George's County is very simple, but again, it's bold. I want to establish a county-backed healthcare plan. We spoke about earlier the importance of small businesses and worker cooperatives. And one of the best ways that we can ensure that we see growth in small businesses is providing healthcare to people, because if people know that they don't have to rely only on the job that they are in for benefits and healthcare, you'll see a lot more people taking the risk and making the investment in starting small businesses. And I want to fully fund our public school system and make sure that we solve the environmental challenges that we have in the county. Right now, Brandywine has a huge respiratory health issue because we have a lot of polluting power plants, and we need to make those power plants pay reparations for the damages of people's health that they've contributed to. So I want to turn things around on the environmental side. I want to improve our educational system. And I want to make sure that this people's wages, I want to raise wages. They can live here. Prince George's County is entirely too expensive, and cost of living, and wages aren't keeping up with the cost of living. So I have a holistic plan, and I hope that I can be the next county council rep and we can get this thing done.
Thank you, Ms. Burnham. This is a time for your closing statement, and you will have 1 minute, and we will begin with Ms. Burnham.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And as I was saying, my plan is robust and comprehensive. I've spent over 15 years in public policy, nearly 20 years in public policy, and that has empowered me with a very comprehensive idea set on how we can transform our county. We have a lot of child care challenges here, as we do around the country, but we have the means and the ability to solve some of these national issues at the local level with a representative that is able to work on these issues, because I, again, have the experience, I have the knowledge set, and I have the passion, drive, and political will to get these things done. And my office will be the People's Office of District 9. I want to work hand in hand with our community leaders. I want to get more communities involved that have not had the ability to participate in the civic process. I really want a change in our county, and I believe I'm the one to do it.
Ms. Burnham, I thank you for your closing statement. Now, Mr. Sabedwu.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me again. Again, I'm Dorian. My name is Dorian Sabedwell. For those of you that may not know, Dorian Sabedwell. It's been it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to call this great county of Prince George's County, my home for the past 25 plus years. I was born and I was raised here, and I've seen everything everything that has come to through Prince George's County. It'll be an honor to serve the community because I'm a passionate person. I am an honest person. Most importantly, I'm a leader. And my dreams and my goals and my hope is to lead Prince George's County to greatness and just to prosperity. Again, my plans are to improve the educational system, increase the fundings for teachers and the public servants, affordable housing for our families, develop youth programs, create job opportunities, and to improve the traffic system, but most importantly, to serve the community. I think that's my number one priority, and that's my number one goal. Is to serve the community, and it'll be an honor to serve you all if you vote for me July 19th. Early voting starting tomorrow, as your new council member for District 9. There's great things ahead, and I'm all for getting there and being able to see Prince George's County prosper and just grow. So please, again, vote for me, and I'm here to serve and I'm here to lead. Thank you.
We thank you as well. We thank both of you. It has been a pleasure, my pleasure, to serve honorary this evening. I wish you both the best of luck. Thank you for your participation. I will turn it over to my friend, my colleague, Ms. Gloria Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Ms. Gloria, you are muted.
There we are. I want to thank you both for your participation here this evening. I want you to understand that the League believes that those who serve in elective office offer the community a willingness to work, to give to those of us their time, to take responsibility. And these traits are what the League of Women Voters believes should be held with utmost respect. I want to thank you for your participation here and for your willingness to consider serving in public office. To those of you in the audience watching this program on live stream, we want you to avoid the long lines. We suggest that, as the candidates have just reminded you, early voting starts tomorrow. You can vote in person. Early voting will be held from Thursday, July 7, 2022 through Thursday, July 14. Early voting centers will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you ask, who can vote early? Any person who is registered to vote can vote early during the early voting season. The voting deadline depends on how you want to receive your ballot. If you want to receive your ballot by mail or fax, your request must be received by the Board of Elections, not just mailed, but received by Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. If you want to receive your ballot by the internet, your request must be received by 5 p.m. Friday, July 15. Whether you elect to vote rather by internet or by fax or by person, please be sure to vote. Your one vote is very important. And there is a phrase that the League of Women Voters members always say: voting is not a spectator vote, is not a spectator sport. Get up, get out, and vote. Thank you.